In this video, we will take a closer look at a couple important features that help organize your account, sites, and filters. After covering what these can do for you, we will go over how to create and use them. Let's get started. A single account with systems management can handle hundreds or even thousands of endpoints spread across multiple sites and locations. For example, I might have endpoints at a headquarters office, a satellite office, or even at the homes of remote workers, all under the same account. Sites enable me to organize my endpoints around these different locations so I can track and manage the devices separately. Filters are another organizational tool available to you, which helps you locate endpoints using criteria that you specify. For example, maybe I want to know where my servers are located, which endpoint a user has recently used, or see which endpoints have been offline for more than a week. All of these and more are filter criteria that you can choose from. Filters can be applied to a single site or search across all of your sites at once. These are a great way to quickly locate the endpoints that you need. Now that we know a little more about what these tools can do for us, let's take a look at how to use them. I've already logged into my systems management account, and I want to get started by creating 3 sites to work with. On the left-hand menu under Sites, I selected All Sites, and you can see there is already a default site in the account, Home. From here, I can click Create Site in the top right to get started. All I need to do is enter a name for my site, and there are some additional options available if the agent will need proxy settings, or to set up site-specific security levels, email notifications, variables, and more. Once the site is created, I can start to add new devices to it. I will skip ahead and you can see a few devices have now been added to this site, and I've also created 2 additional sites. For more information about installing and using the agent, check out the video on managing devices in this course. I have created my sites and added some devices, so let's explore the left menu a little closer. At the top is the Global section, where I can view details about all the devices in the account in one place. The global options can be great to use when you have general filters, policies, and other settings that should apply to all your devices. Below that is the Sites section, and if I click All Sites, I can see the sites in my account to navigate between them. Below All Sites on the left, you can see similar options for filters, policies, and other things for the last site that I selected. The big difference is the things I do in the site only apply to the devices in that site and not everything in the account. This is great for filters, settings, and exceptions that only affect this site. Back in the Global section, you can also see an option for site groups. This lets me create custom groups that include multiple sites, which I can use later when I'm applying things like policies to multiple sites at once. I want to create a group here for offices and add the sites for both my headquarters and satellite offices. There are also device groups at both the global level as well as inside each site. These groups let you add multiple devices together into a custom group, so that once again I can easily apply filters, policies, and other things to these specific devices, even if they're spread across different sites. In this account, I will create a global servers group and add these 2 servers. Now, let's take a closer look at filters. Under the Global section on the left, I will click Filters to view my global filters that search across all my sites. As you can see, by default, there are a bunch of handy filters already there for you to use as a starting point. For any filter here, I can click into it and view the filter to see the properties and even copy it if I want to make my own. By the way, if you want to search through these filters, check out the search bar at the top of any page. The search here is really useful, just make sure you select the right category when you are looking for something. Once I select the default filters category, I can use it to find the filters I want. Back on the filters list, I will create a new filter from scratch by clicking in the top right. Once I create my filter, I can also choose the scope. The scope determines where the filter lives. In this case, I want to keep this as a global filter. When creating a new filter, it is important to define upfront what you are looking for. In this case, I will create a filter that looks for any servers that are not part of a domain. To do this, I need to select multiple criteria. As you can see in the list, there are a ton of great criteria that you can use to find things that are meaningful and specific. I will choose device type, then contains server to locate all of my servers. If you aren't sure which restriction to use, contains is always a good starting point for most criteria. Then I will add a second criteria for domain does not contain workgroup. I set this because Windows computers in my environment that are not part of a domain are detected using the default workgroup domain. I also need to make sure I apply an AND between these two criteria so that both must be true for the computer to appear. With that configured, any servers without a domain should show up. When you are dealing with a global filter, you can also choose site targets, which enable me to exclude some sites if I don't want the filter to run against them. In my case, I will only add my 2 Office sites to this filter. Finally, you can share this filter with different security levels. I already created a security level for support, and I will add them so those folks can make use of this filter. Once I save my filter, I am taken to the results. From here, I can click into the devices to learn more about them, or take action on that specific device. I can also select multiple devices from the filter list and click the 3 dots at the top to access a number of management functions. It looks like I didn't add some of my servers to a device group I created earlier, so I can do that now. You can see how filters are a powerful tool that help you define and manage specific devices. So that will do it for sites and filters. We learned how to use sites to define different locations that endpoints are located in our account. We saw how to use groups to group sites and devices together for use later in our filters and policies. And we learned how filters can be used to find specific devices in your account based on custom criteria that you define.